Hi everyone, this is Hilde Larsen back from the woods of Norway. Listen to the sound of the birds today. I spent some time walking around here and I ended up on this little top. I had my backpack with me. I wanted to make a video and here I am. And you know, before I get started, I want to talk about the raw food and a cooler climate. I healed in a cool climate, so I know a little bit about how to do that, how to stick on the raw and not make excuses and not self-sabotage yourself just because you're not in the tropics. Because, you know, most of us aren't. Most of us only have the regular daily supermarkets. Most of us come from a life where everyone around us eats, eat cooked food. So that's what I want to talk to you about. But first of all, I've been carrying around, I had a woman talk to me about this today, and I thought, oh, I better mention this because this is about my 3 books. So bear with me just a couple of minutes, because people ask me, what are they about and what's the difference between them? Should I read all of them? Should I start with one? And what is it? So I wanted to tell you that this one, From Hell to Inspired, I know, it was my hell, is my story. But it's more than that. It's about you. It's about everyone that's suffering, because it's written in a way that I hope that you will be inspired to take charge of your own life. So it's definitely about my journey, and you'll learn everything about what I did, what I lived through. It could be tears, it could be laughter, but most of all, I wanted you to end up at the end of this being inspired to do something about your own life, to change whatever you believe is impossible. If you have any diagnosis, if you've been through the heck that I have and are ready to heal, then this is for you. Then the second one, it's like a follow-up. It's more about me putting together all, not only the recipes, but everything that I did. People read the first one and they say, oh, the story, but then, I didn't want to put everything in one book because I was afraid it was going to be too much. It was going to be too thick. I mean, there were over 300 pages each, I think. So this one, the second one, Know the Truth and Get Healthy, is the step-by-step. The step-by-step. I called it the step-by-step guide to true health and vitality. And it has all the tricks, all the recipes, everything that I did, from parasites, a lot of info there, herbs, raw food, of course. I don't even, it's about everything is in there. So once I did that, I thought, or I felt, I wasn't done because there was another chapter missing, or a whole book rather. And as people were approaching me, and as I was speaking to people through my coaching business, and I was getting to know my clients more and more, I realized every time this is the one that was the missing link. The no more bullshit. It was about self-sabotage. It was about not being good enough. It was about all the old patterns that we've been taught. It was about the old beliefs. It was about not knowing where to start. It was about everything that shatters the real truth, which is that you are made to be healthy and happy and prosperous and showing your amazingness. And that is the core of the message. So this book, Power Up and Grow Free, You Are the Only One You Have Been Waiting For, have the chapters that I find almost impossible not to visit before you get into the real core of healing. We're talking about what is your excuse. We're talking about decluttering. We're talking about gratitude. We're talking about serving. We're talking about letting yourself free. We're talking about from knowledge to wisdom. These are the deeper issues that are dictating our success, even if you're going to make it on raw food in the cooler climate or not. Let me put these down. Okay, so those are the 3 books. Now, the raw food. Okay, so here you are, cooler climate, and I'm sure this is important for you too. If you are lucky, some would say, that live in the tropics. If you're a fruitarian, it's so this is it. It doesn't matter as much where you live, what you can get and what you can't, as it does your mindset around it. Because once you believe that you can do it, you'll always find a way. And my previous video, I was speaking about that a lot. So now I want to give you more of the step by step and being real about how did I do this. stop the, I just got so inspired, I just did it, and my why was so big, and yes, watch those videos, it's very important. But how did I do it practically? Okay, let me walk you through this. So I decided that I was going to give my body the best fuel out there. I was going to step back and first of all, of course, stop what I was doing that was hurting myself. Then I transitioned slowly. See, I didn't have a teacher back then. I hardly knew about raw food. I just started to ease into it by reading articles on the internet, like I'm sure a lot of you have been doing. Not that much YouTube was out. Facebook was just starting. I don't even know if it was, I had like 10 friends on Facebook, so not much there, and nobody else that I knew of, even in Norway, was doing this. So I was clinging to some of the Americans, like David Wolf, that has been, going forth early with the raw food. So that clicked with me, and as I started doing that, I started eating less and less cooked food. Now, in that phase, it really wasn't that hard. Now, if you're really sick, just getting food in yourself is hard, right? And just getting someone to share it with you is hard. Just you're so into just having someone make you something that you're not even worrying about where it came from, if it was organic or not. You're just trying to do your best. So with me, it started more of being the hardcore chooser when I realized I had to let go of all the nuts and the fat, the seeds, because it's easy to live on a high-fat, raw, vegan diet, isn't it? It's easy, and in the cold weather as well, it's easy. You can just eat nuts, a lot of nuts. I ate coconut butter or coconut oil by the spoonful. But I can't say that I did it differently during winter and summer, and I think that's a big hoax. We're going to get to that, okay? We're going to get to that. I'm first going to talk about the food source in a cooler climate, and then we're going to talk about why you think it's harder for the body and why you think it's different, okay? Because I spent a lot of time in Naples, also in Florida, and I see very clearly the difference is not where we think it is. It's a lot of mental stuff going on, emotional stuff going on, what you used to, what you think you need, okay? Like you think you shouldn't freeze on your feet, you'll get a cold. You'll catch a cold, rather. Like there's a cold bug out there jumping you, saying, oh, I'll give you a runny nose tomorrow. It just isn't the truth, right? So, and I'll get back to that in another video. But for now, when I realized that eating a high fruit diet, that's when I thought, oh my God, I'm in deep shit, because look around in cooler climates and there's not that much fruit growing in the winter. There is no fruit growing in the winter. So that is the #1 challenge. The #2 challenge is the belief that you need something warm in the body when you're cold or when the weather is cooler, so that you will use that to heat up or to warm yourself. I'll get back to that. So what I realized was that there was a couple of things that I personally could get. That was not hard for me to get at all in a colder climate during winter. For me, it was I could get organic bananas and I could get oranges pretty much all winter long. Winter is orange season, okay? Now I know it depends on where you are in the world, and there are different countries that have different things that they import during the winter. But most countries, if you're that cold that you can't grow anything yourself, they usually have something that they import during the winter. So I made that my base. Then what I did was I switched my mental outlook on winter during summer. It's like I was hoarding. I was looking for what could I freeze, what could I save, what could I use during winter. So the second winter was much, much easier because I had been getting a lot of extra berries. A lot of the cooler climates, they are amazing on the berries. Like Norway, where I'm at right now. You can go right outside in the closest green area almost and pick your wild berries during berry season. So you could freeze it. And then so then I could live on bananas with frozen berries. And I went outside and I picked my dandelion and my ground elder and my stinging nettle, everything that I've been talking about in the herb video. I put that in there and I figured, oh my God, I can live on this. Maybe not the most exciting, but it's not going to stop me. See, that's what I was looking for. Not the most exciting diet, because I knew I couldn't do that. But it was not going to stop me. It was not going to be a reason for me not to do what I needed to do. I needed to heal. I needed to let my body heal. I needed to eat what I was designed to eat, no matter where I chose to be. And right then, I couldn't move. I couldn't do much. So I stayed. And I used what I had. And could I get everything organic? No, I couldn't. Not in the beginning. So I cleansed, or I rinsed it thoroughly. And I found that what most people were using, and I thought it worked fine, is a combination of baking soda, lemon, and apple cider vinegar. You put it in a bowl. I put equally, all three, in a bowl of water, and I put my produce in there, or my fruits that I did not peel. Okay? So if I had an apple, I would either peel it or put it in there. That's what I did. And then I decided within myself that this was good enough. This was the best that I could do at that time. And this is so important. You know, nobody's perfect. Again, it's never a reason why you can't do it. See? You make the rules on that one. You decide if you can do it or not. And if you decide you can, you can. And then you go and you do. Then you figure out the best way to do it. You can ask people, you can get support, you can always find a community where they can exchange information like this. Because people have worked before you. Now, like I have. Okay? So that's what I did all winter. I mentally conditioned myself to live on very few things. Again, just showing me I didn't need the variety. I didn't need the variety. My taste buds, they did for a long time. My emotions, they did, because I remembered everything that I used to like and love so much. But I also remembered why I was doing this. I didn't want to remember that too much, or that didn't stick. That, you know, I wanted to do better. So if you're in a cold climate, it is never, ever, ever, ever a reason to hold you back or not to go 100% raw, if that is what you choose. Okay, you don't have to go raw if you don't want to. If that's what you choose, then this is what I tell you. There's no reason, no matter where you live, you can always find a way. Second, this is the other half of the same thing. People ask me, well, what should I do when I'm cold? I'm in a colder climate, so when it's cold, I need something warm. I need something to warm myself on. No. In reality, you don't. See, the body doesn't warm itself on what you are eating. The longer you stay raw and the cleaner you get, and the more you detoxify your body of all the toxins, and the more balance there is between your glands, your systems, the less cold you will get. People can actually almost live in the cold climate, in the snow, with no electricity or no house, because they condition themselves to that. The body get used to it. They get into the energy of nature and their body. Did you know that you could sit down and meditate your body temperature up and down? Just by your awareness, just by your connection, just by your mindset. It's back to the mindset again, right? So when you think about that, in a transition, I would say, yes, have a cup of warm tea. Have a cup of warm water with some lemon and ginger and a little bit of honey. You know, if that's what you want to do, you could do that. Or just some herbs, a herbal tea with some flowers in them, or a little bit of essential oils, so it will taste good to you. But never believe that you need it to stay warm, because it's not. I always say, you know, put more clothes on until you feel better. Food is not what this is about. It's about what you don't eat, you know. It's about cleansing. It's about getting back to the state where you are healthy. And when you're healthy, your body's not going to warm up on food. I have been raw. Somebody was asking me, and I was, you know, I was counting back, and I was like, wow, I've been raw for 9 years now. I've been on fruits, mostly fruits. I call it like a high fruit diet because I have some herbs in there, and maybe some seaweed now and then, but very, very high fruit. It's been 5 years. It's been almost 5 years. And that is a long time. And now the lifestyle is such a big part of me that I don't even, from being in Norway or being in Florida, the only thing I noticed with the diet is the difference in the seasons and what I can get. I left the papayas and mango season, which was like, oh my God. But I'm coming to Norway. This is strawberry season. And we're getting into all the other berries right now. And then all the apples and cherries. We have the seasons here too. And the same thing with nature. No matter where you are, if you're close to the beach, if you're in the mountains, if you're in an open landscape, if you have a lot of trees around you, it's different, but it's all beneficial. And even the cold weather, you can use it for something amazing. Cold is alkalizing, hot is acidic. So if you've heard about hot and cold therapy, you can use it for that, and I'll talk more about that. So never get discouraged, please. Never get discouraged with where you live, or by where you live, or what you think you can get and don't get. Never get discouraged with thinking that other people, it's the same thing we're doing again. We're comparing ourselves to others, right? We don't even want to admit it, but we are. We are. I mean, oh, it was easy for you because you had. No, I didn't. And it was easy because you had people around you that was probably eating the same diet. No, I didn't. See? I didn't. It's not about that. It's not about any of that. It's only about you. It's only about you. Now, for God's sakes, if you have no way of getting fruit or no one to help you, then of course reach out and try to find community. You know, try to find community. That's why I do the membership site. It's all for the community, because I don't want anyone to fall off the wagon for such a silly, stupid reason as thinking I cannot get fruit where I live during the winter. You can. Okay, so this was a little pep talk. I wanted to talk about that because somebody was asking me, you know, and they were telling me, you know what? I fell off every winter. I just couldn't do raw. I can do it during the summer. I can't do it during the winter because number one, I need something hot to stay hot. No, you don't. Number two, I live in a cooler climate and I can't get fruit. I bet you can. And I bet you can get some berries. And it might not be the highest quality. It might not be organic all the time even. It might not be, you know, local. It might not be short traveled. But you're trying to heal and you're worth it. And then once you get, you know, kicking and screaming and running and feeling amazing, I bet you will spend some time in places where you can get the fruit that you need and that you want and that you desire. Because you are the experiencer. You are the creator of your universe. You are the crop master of your field. Only you. Like I said, no more bullshit. Power up and grow free. You are the only one you have been waiting for. So don't wait. Just keep on going, and then keep on going, and it'll get better and better and easier and easier. And you'll never regret it, I know. I just know it. So namaste, I'm gonna let you go. This is the woods. I think I'm gonna go that way. So I wanna challenge you today to figure out for the upcoming winter, or if you're in Australia, this is winter, figure out what can I do to sustain myself? The planning again. What can I do to sustain myself? Plan it, schedule it, and then take action and do it. And then you'll see the results. Little effort, little result. Huge effort, huge result. I love you. Talk soon. So please like the video if you like information like this. Share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. And I'll be back very soon to talk about something else that I feel very passionate about, and it has to do with your health, always. Namaste. Thank you.